Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope you're having an amazing day. This is Paul Hutchings coming to you with Good Parts episode. Drum roll, please. Episode 100. Can you believe it? I made it to 100. That's exciting. I'm excited that I've been doing these now for over 100 episodes in a row. I wanted to celebrate with you guys and also say thank you so much to everyone who has helped me to get here, who's encouraged me, who's tuned into my lives, who's left me amazing comments and feedback, who's added value to the discussion, because you guys have kept me moving forward. And, you know, the emails that I got an email this week from a good friend of mine named Paula. And I don't think I shared this with you guys in the Good Parts episode so far. So maybe I'll just I'll pull this up real quick. But I got an email from Paula, and this was Friday, and I was I was really tired last week. I'd put in a lot of work the couple prior weeks, you know, getting up early, working late, working on Saturday, even a little bit on Sunday one morning, because I had this big project that needed to be done. And so last week I took some time off and I didn't email my email list for 3 days. And I got a couple of messages. I got one from Linda Thomas. She's like, hey, thank you so much for all the value you provide. You know, I just want to let you know I haven't received your emails, and I want to make sure that I didn't accidentally get unsubscribed. And I thought, wow, that's so cool. You know, thank you, Linda, for helping me to see that, you know, maybe the emails that I'm sending out every day are people are noticing and they're getting value from them. I mean, that's encouragement. This feedback gives me belief to keep moving forward. And over that same time frame, I got a message from Paula Walker over in Africa, and she said, you may not realize this, Paul. If it weren't for you and your constant emails and videos, I don't think I would have the belief and courage to start all over again. I always seem to find comfort and belief when I watch your videos, which always seem to pop up when I really need to hear them. God works in mysterious ways. And, you know, it's comments like these that give me faith and inspiration to keep moving forward. So I wanted to just take a quick moment to celebrate this milestone and really say thank you so much to everyone. Here's another comment from my YouTube channel. From Nikita Daisy, love your show a lot. You know, just little comments like that help me to have the faith to keep moving forward. So anyway, that's out of the way. That's a little celebrate success. I want to get to the point of the live today, which is doing one simple thing every morning that is scientifically proven to increase levels of happiness. You know, would you like to be more happy? Would you like to wake up in the morning with a smile on your face? Would you like to look at your day with excitement and enthusiasm and joy and just like this positive, expectant state of being where you've just got this gleam in your eye as you bounce out of bed and bounce onto the things that you're going to be doing for that day? I mean, is this a state of being that you would like to have? I'd love to ask all of you guys. I mean, it seems obvious, right? I don't know that anyone's going to respond no to that question. But Nick, hey, says yeehaw. Thanks for tuning in, Nick, and thanks for the kudos. Bill Fever, hooray for doing 100. They have changed our lives. Thank you so much. He said, we are closer as friends because of these. We've gotten to know everyone better. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. Thanks, Janine, for the shout out. Kelly Spranger, thank you. And shout out to Kelly Spranger. She's producing some great sales and growing her residual income. So super proud of you, Kelly, for what you're doing. And Nick says, love your emails, learn a lot. And, you know, Nick's another one of those guys. If he doesn't get my email at the time he expects to get it, he'll send me a text and be like, bro, where's your email? You know, I'm like, oh, I got distracted. Let me send the email out. So I appreciate that, Nick. And Tina gives me a shout out here too. So thanks, Tina. So yeah, if you're tuning in live, comment below, let me know who you are, where you're plugging in from. And if you're watching the replay, please do the same. I do read all the comments and I try to respond to them as much as I can on the lives. And William from Singapore, thank you. Danny, thank you. All right, so back to the point. So here's the thing, and some of us might be aware of this, and some of us might not be aware of this. But I remember learning from a clinical psychologist who has worked with a lot of people in his psychology practice. He's also very well versed in all of the scientific literature relating to psychology and state of mind. And so he's a very authoritative source on a certain thing that relates to what I'm going to talk about. And And so I'm going to tell you what I learned from him in just a moment, but I want to lead up to this by sharing with you some anecdotal observations I've had in my own life and then also in the lives of some of my family members. So, one of the things that I've noticed about myself is that if I wake up in the morning and I'm laying there in bed and the first thing I do, which I have been guilty of this from time to time, the first thing I do is roll over and grab my smartphone and open up social media and start to scroll through social media or go check the news headlines. I have noticed in myself that if I get in the habit of doing this, it makes me somewhat depressed and not excited about life and the world and the state of things. Have you guys noticed that? So I've noticed that about myself. And I've also noticed that if I do something different first thing in the morning, throughout my day, generally, I have a totally different experience. I'm excited, I'm enthusiastic, I've got good things in the future to look forward to. And so I'm going to share what this clinical psychologist said, and I'm going to share the thing that's better to do, I believe, than looking at your social media feed or your news feed first thing in the morning. But I want to share one more little anecdotal thing that I've noticed within my family. So, as you may know, I've got 4 sons. And of course, as a father, I want my sons to maximize their potential. I want them to be happy. I want them to be filled with joy. I want them to be excited about life and the future and all the possibilities that lie in front of them. And so I'm doing everything that I can think of and still thinking of ways, because I'm not totally successful there yet. But I'm really thinking about my sons a lot lately, and how can I help them be more happy and be more successful? Especially my oldest, he'll be a senior this year, and I think about him going out into the world in which we live right now. And on the one hand, I'm a super optimistic person usually, and I know that opportunities unlimited. There, all kinds of things going on. But on the other hand, every once in a while, like I said, I've tuned into what's going on, and I'm just like, wow, things are not the same today as they were when I was getting started in life and business. One example, of course, you're probably all aware of this, the ridiculous prices of housing. I think about my kids and I'm like, how are they gonna, go forth and make it and be successful and be able to pay, what it's like double, triple, quadruple prices on homes than when I was first getting started out. So I have a little bit of, sometimes I have a little bit of, I guess you'd say worry. I try not to worry, and when I catch myself worrying, I try to cut it off. But every once in a while, I'm just, concerned and hoping that my kids will do well. So anyway, that to say that I try to pay attention to how they're showing up in life. And one thing that I noticed in a couple of my sons yesterday is that, and I've talked about this before, we've made some progress here, but we're still working on it. One thing I noticed about a couple of my sons is that whenever there was a spare moment where they weren't doing something like working out in the gym, or they didn't have something going on, whenever there was a spare moment, they would pull their phone out and they're like scrolling and doing these, I'll just say stupid. I think they're stupid streaks on Snapchat. I don't know if you guys know what Snapchat is or what streaks are, but it's basically where you open everyone's little picture and you hit it and then you keep doing it. And then Snapchat gives you this streak number. And so what happens to the kids is they get addicted to keeping their streaks going, and they'll spend a ton of time just opening, clicking, opening, clicking, opening, clicking. And I was asking one of my sons yesterday, I said, son, what value do you get from doing this? Like, what does this bring to your life that's of value? What does it bring to other people's lives that are of value? And he didn't really have an answer for me. And I said, how much time are you putting into this? I mean, he's like, well, probably not very much. And he's like, I could calculate the time. And then he said this, he said, I guarantee it's less than 8 hours a day. And I thought, 8 hours a day. I said, 8 hours. Could you imagine if you were just clicking, scrolling for 8 freaking hours a day? That's 8 hours of your life wasted on nothing but what? Maybe some endorphins you're getting from keeping your dumb streak going, right? And so I see that going on. And then I see that sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes, like yesterday, one of my sons, I was noticing that he didn't really have a smile on his face. He wasn't like happy. He wasn't engaging with the family. And this is one of the sons that, is in this thing of, like constantly being looking at his phone. We went for a ride yesterday because I took him to a friend of mine's place because a friend of mine owns a business, and my son was interested in learning about this particular trade. And I talked to my friend. He said, yeah, I'd love to talk to your son. So anyway, we went over to talk to him, and it was a great conversation. And my friend gave my son some good advice and kind of helped him see more of what was in this trade. But in the car on the way there, guess what my son was doing the whole way? Looking at his phone. On the way back, looking at his phone. And so last night, I went into my son's room and I said, son, I said, are you excited? Because we helped him kind of secure a little job yesterday. I said, are you excited? And he's, yeah, not like super happy. And I said, son, you've got to be excited about the things that are waiting for you in your future. You're going to be making some money. You're going to be making some cash. You're not going to be broke anymore. That's exciting, right? And he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, that's exciting. And so I mentioned that happiness in a large degree is dependent upon how many good things we have to look forward to in the future. If we're excited about something in the future, that can contribute to our happiness in big ways. But then furthermore, back to what this clinical psychologist taught me, is he said that it's not just having the goal that provides the happiness. And it's not the achievement of the goal that provides the happiness, because the happiness, once you achieve a goal, that goal is gone. And then there's something missing. Maybe you guys have noticed this before, where you have a goal and you're looking towards it, you're excited about it, you're making progress, you're happy as you're making progress, and then the goal is achieved, and then you're empty. And that excitement and that happiness is gone until you set another thing off in your future to look forward to. And then you start making daily progress. And all of a sudden, the excitement and the happiness is back. So that's what this clinical psychologist said. He said something to look forward to in the future, and then working on that thing every day. The sense that you're making some sort of forward progress. What he said was this is scientifically proven to release feel-good endorphins in your brain, just like the stupid Snapchatting. But what's the difference? The difference is with the Snapchatting, they're getting nothing from it other than the little hits of dopamine to your brain. With having something to look forward to and then making daily progress, you have the potential of like getting something other than the little clicks. Getting what? Getting a financial goal, getting a health goal, learning something that can be of value to you and value to other people. There's just so much other reward in this other process. And so the scientifically proven thing, and I want to share just one thing with you guys, one other thing that I looked up this morning, because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't saying things that were untrue. We have a little AI tool within our company called Emerson. And I wrote, the most compelling scientifically backed facts for supporting the idea that goals and daily progress toward those goals affect happiness levels is this. And this is what our AI told us. That feeling of accomplishment for achieving goals positively affects a person's happiness levels and boosts their self-esteem. Studies have shown that goal setting leads to higher levels of motivation and satisfaction, which can positively impact overall happiness levels. The brain releases dopamine when people make progress towards their goal. So again, guys, it's not the achievement of the goal, it's progress toward the goals that releases the dopamine. This is a neurotransmitter that activates the pleasure center of the brain, which can lead to higher levels of happiness. Additionally, setting specific achievable goals can lead to a sense of accomplishment and confidence, both of which have been shown to increase happiness levels. A recent study found that when people worked on their goals daily, they were happier than those who didn't. The study also found that when participants reviewed their progress on a daily basis, they felt more motivated and confident about achieving their goals. Ultimately, this improved their overall mood and made them happier. Overall, Evidence suggests that setting goals and regularly tracking progress toward those goals can lead to higher levels of happiness. As setting goals is often the first step to achieving something, it can provide a sense of purpose and a greater appreciation of everyday life. This, combined with the dopamine released when making progress, and can significantly improve overall happiness. So, what is it that I want to challenge you and me to do every day, first thing when you wake up in the morning, before you do anything else, maybe even before you get a glass of water, or even get out of bed? If you can pull your phone out, if you've got your goals on your phone, and look at your goals first thing in the morning. If you want to go the extra mile, before you go to bed, before you drift off to sleep, pull out your phone and look at your goals. I promise you, this will help tremendously with your levels of happiness. And additionally, one of the things that I've noticed is that when I look at my goals in the morning, all of a sudden, I'm not as interested in seeing what everyone else in the world is doing and complaining and talking about, because I have something that's worth going toward. So now all of a sudden, I might not even want to get on social media now. I've got a goal. So now my mind is pointed towards my day, and it's pointed towards thinking of things I can do today to move toward my goal, which essentially makes me more productive and happy. So I wanted to pass that along. I think this is a big one, and I sometimes from time to time forget, probably like all of us. So I'm hoping this video can be a reminder that we can all choose to be more happy by controlling the input that we put into this amazing machine that, by the way, artificial intelligence still hasn't even figured out how to replicate, this thing that we have called the brain. So that's my message for today. I'm going to jump to the comments here, but I also do want to give you a challenge, call to action. If you are finding me for the first time and you appreciated this content and you want to get more from me, I would love to encourage you to subscribe to me on social media, and or you can visit my website at paulhutchings.net/GIFTS. My mission is freedom through principle-centered leadership, and doing everything I can to help people disconnect their time from their money. Also, I do a lot of sales and marketing and motivation and personal development and inspiration. So those are some of the things that you can get from me if you visit this website and subscribe to my email list. So with that, I'm going to jump to the comments and see what you guys are saying here. Let's see. Danny says, thank you, Paul. Just thank you for being you. Thank you. Thank you for being you, Danny. I think you're an amazing person, and I really enjoy being around you. Christian, thanks for tuning in. Thank you for the shout out, Christian. Appreciate that. Danny says, scrolling is like an addiction. And here's what I'll say, Danny. Scrolling is an addiction. There is no difference. It is literally an addiction because it hits those dopamine hits. And it just makes us want to, keep doing it. In fact, you guys may know this, maybe not, but I remember learning that some of these social media companies, they hired in the beginning the most advanced, well-researched, scientifically backed scientists from leading universities on human behavior. And they hired these people. Why? Because they wanted to know what they could do with understanding human behavior to get people addicted to these apps. That was literally their goal. And it's not surprising when you see how this is affecting so many people. So I think it is an addiction. I don't think it's any different than being addicted to drugs or alcohol or any other addiction that people might have. If you find yourself compulsively having to do something over and over and over again without stopping to think that, hey, is this adding value to my life? Do I have a purpose in doing this? I think it absolutely is an addiction. So I appreciate that comment, Danny. Bill Fever says the cell phone is like a drug. Yeah, again, I think it is a drug. It's literally a drug leading to addiction and depression. Yes, that's true. That is 100% true. I have heard that affects all of us in a very negative way. Yeah, I mean, like if you're whatever it is, if it's giving you a false sense of accomplishment, and I think that's what social media sometimes does, especially with the kids on Snapchat. The streak thing, it's making them feel like they're accomplishing something by triggering the reward center in their brain, causing them to invest time. But then at the end of the day, there's nothing to show. So it's a false sense of accomplishment. So all this time goes by, they're being tricked into it. And self-confidence comes from actually doing stuff in the world, right? Actually doing stuff. So yeah, I think it is definitely an addiction. Bill says my folks way back in the day were more concerned with me being a good person over being a happy person. Well, that's good. I think you can be both. Why not be good and happy? And what if it's true that the more good you are, the happier you are? Like the nicer you are to people, the more you lift people up, the more you give people things of value, and then that causes them to say, thank you so much, I appreciate you. Like, doesn't that contribute to happiness? So I don't know that those two ideas are mutually exclusive. But I do like your parents' direction of be a good person, be a good person. Booker, thanks for the comment. William says doing some future-based event will ensure a better future for us as compared to playing a game, watching movies on TV, etc. Yeah. And, there's nothing wrong with entertainment, but, in moderation. I don't know that we were supposed to be here to entertain ourselves all day long from morning to night, watch TV from morning to night, play video games from morning to night. Every once in a while, you need a break. You don't want to work all day, every day and do nothing. So yeah, in balance, I think. Gregory says, totally love this community. Thank you, Gregory. Love you back. Ashley Casper says, woohoo, episode 100. Way to go, Paul. 100 episodes of pure love and value. Thank you. What a great compliment. You're an inspiration too. And what episode are you on now, Ashley? I think last time I saw you were like 13 to 20, somewhere around there. So you are on a great track yourself. Nick says, I truly appreciate that information. Much happier in my life. I see you and I see light. Wow. What a great compliment. Thank you so much, Nick. Honestly, I feel the same about you. So you spot it. You got it. Jeff says progress equals happiness. When we are moving forward, we feel alive and engaged. Tony Robbins. Amen. Great quote, Jeff. Thanks for posting that. Danny says, I have a goal to live every morning. I have a goal to go live every morning, and I feel satisfied and happy after each live. Getting to know people and sharing value is fun. What a great example, Danny, you're setting. Rita Joy says, so happy for you reaching 100 episodes. You inspire me. Thank you, Rita Joy. You inspire me too. Tina says, writing what I want and need to do the next day and looking at it in the morning helps me. I just started this again lately, and it truly does keep me motivated and focused. I also noticed that ever since I started my morning with quiet time with God, my days are also more focused and positive. I love that. Such a great tip, Tina. Danny says, my parents just wanted me to get outside and play with an imagination. That's great. I think a good job on your parents there. Tomorrow will be number 16 for Ashley Casper. Woohoo. Way to go, Ashley. Cool. All right, guys. Well, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. I love and appreciate all of you guys. Get out there, take action, go for your dreams, do things that bring value to your life and to the lives of other people. That's a sure way, I think, to make progress in your life and also make sure that you're experiencing happiness along the way. So I'll be back tomorrow for episode 101. If you want to come back, I'd love to invite you back.